We're all like staring at her. She knows. But I would imagine the chief could come to something like this. And which police department is this area? Like the primary?
Oh no, this Tremonton has its own police department.
Yeah, but then we're saying bring him.
Oh, looks like that. It might be the chief.
Oh. I think they were just going live. Yeah.
I haven't received any new emails that say don't start yet.
Did you guys want to come over here for the?
We already have a crew right
Oh,
here.
okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
They're setting up now, so it's gonna be pretty quick. Morning, Chief. Nice to meet you.
Morning.
Morning.
Have this? Yeah, you put that in. You know the drill. Yes, you bring him city.
Yeah, so they're neighboring cities, so they're just helping out because this police department's like 10 or 12 people. It's really small.
Okay.
I did learn it is 21 officers.
21.
Yeah,
Tremonton.
Tremonton has 21 officers.
Thank
Someone
you.
asked me that in the earlier press release, and I said 25 to 30. I was wrong. Thank you.
You bet.
Thanks so much.
She says 30 seconds. Second. 21.
Any others? Okay.
I need to stand pretty close to him. Am I better on this side or that side? This side.
Give us a second. Pick up the
Sure. Yeah.
Right where you're at.
I think
You have to hold this one.
Okay.
I can hold it.
Okay. Perfect. Okay.
Let me know if I can stay out of the way for you guys.
That's everybody.
Where should I say?
There.
So, good morning. My name's Chad Reyes. I'm the Chief of Police with Brigham City Police Department, and I'm here on behalf of Chief Dustin Cordova and Sheriff Kevin Potter. They've asked me to give the media an update because they need to spend some time with their departments, as I'm sure you can understand. On August 17th at 21:02 hours, so 9:02 p.m., the Box Elder Communications Center received multiple 911 hangups from an address near 700 North, 200 East in Tremonton, Utah. An officer from the Tremonton Garland Police Department responded and began speaking with an occupant of the home who was reporting an apparent domestic disturbance, at which time a male emerged from the residence with a firearm. The male opened fire on the officer, striking and killing the officer. A second officer with Tremonton Garland Police Department responded to assist the first and was immediately fired upon by the same male suspect. The second officer was also struck and killed by the suspect's gunfire. A third officer deputy from the Box Elder County Sheriff's Office had also been dispatched to assist, and as they arrived in the area, the suspect fired several rounds into the deputy's vehicle, striking the deputy and the deputy's police service dog. After being hit by gunfire, the deputy and police service dog remained in their vehicle and were subsequently evacuated to an area hospital and specialty veterinary clinic where they received medical treatment. Both are recovering and in fair condition now. After firing upon these officers and police service dog, the suspect was convinced to put down his weapon by bystanders, and he was immediately taken into custody by additional responding officers. Due to the level of violence and lack of information precipitating this incident, SWAT teams responded to clear the home and verify no continued threat remained. The suspect was booked into the Box Elder County Jail on charges of aggravated murder. Weber County Attorney's Office is coordinating the ongoing homicide investigation. Tragedies like these rock the entire community, state, and even nation. These officers and their families served their community every day and will forever be remembered as heroes. Our thoughts and prayers are with the Tremonton Garland Police Department, Box Elder County Sheriff's Office, and the family of those involved. We're grateful for the swift response from multiple agencies from Box Elder, Weber, and Cache counties. And I'll answer any questions.
Hard not to notice the emotions as you're reading through that. And how are your officers, and more importantly, the Tremonton Garland officers, handling all this right now?
As you can imagine, like I said, it rocks an entire community, especially the police department. As I mentioned at the beginning of this, Chief Cordova asked me to be here so he could be with his department and his family and take care of their needs as much as one can in a situation like this.
Can you identify the names of the officers who were killed?
We're not ready to do that just yet.
I know.
He's been booked into jail, but we're not releasing his identity yet either. We're kind of coordinating with Weber County Attorney's Office, and also Chief Cordova has expressed his desire to come out and give a statement. He's just not ready to do that yet, and so I'm just kind of giving as vague but as much information as I can until he's ready to give more.
And I know they were responding to an apparent domestic disturbance, but are you able to provide any more details on what exactly led up to the shooting?
Just that we received multiple 911 calls to that address, and when we responded, we were talking to one occupant who was giving us information that led us to believe that there was a precipitating domestic, but nothing more than that.
What do you know about the bystanders? Were they neighbors?
We believe so, yes. We're still in the process of interviewing those people.
Does the suspect have a violent background?
I am unaware of what his background is.
Is he an adult male?
An adult male, yes.
JP, you got to talk about how this affects. I mean, obviously, this would affect any police department incredibly. I mean, this is also a very small community, a small department. It's 21 officers in this department.
Right. Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned in the press release, having 2 officers killed in the line of duty and another and their dog injured is an event that really rocks an entire nation. Luckily in this area and really in this state, police departments have the support of the public for the most part, and it's just a tragedy. It affects the entire state, but most importantly, the Tremonton Garland Police Department. That's why we're here trying to do what we can to assist them.
Did they die on scene?
Yes.
Is there any more you can say about how the deputy and the deputy police service dog are doing at this time?
Yes, they're both in fair condition, and the deputy's actually been released from the hospital, and the police service dog will remain at the veterinary clinic just as a precaution for the night.
But expected to survive.
Yes.
Do you know if the shooter lived at the home as well?
Yes, he did. We believe so.
We know these domestic violence calls can be so volatile. What can you tell us about these types of calls?
They really are unknown. We don't know what we're walking into, and they are one of the most dangerous events that we can be dispatched on. And like I said, these officers have been doing this. They took an oath to protect and serve their communities, and that's what they were doing. And they knew the dangers going into this, and unfortunately, they paid the ultimate price.
Can you tell us how long they served?
I don't know the exact answer to that.
And can you tell us, this, like we were talking about, this community is pretty tight and it is small. So something like this, what should people do to kind of get through the day? Anything that the community should do to support each other? Anything they should know at all?
I think some of you were here when some of the council members and the mayor were bringing around, breakfast for the officers and just trying to be supportive. I think that kind of outpouring of support from the community is welcome too, but we do ask that community stay away from the area until we're done with the investigation and processing the scene thoroughly.
Do we know his relationship with the other person who answered the door?
I don't know that we're ready to release that information yet, but we do. We have an idea of what the relationship was.
And do you know if the person who answered the door was a man or a woman?
I don't know that we're ready to release that information yet either. They lived in the same home.
Are you able to say what type of firearm was used?
I can't yet.
Can you tell us more about the witnesses who were in the area and convinced the suspect to put his weapon down?
We believe they were neighbors, and as I mentioned, we're still trying to locate and identify and interview all of the bystanders and witnesses that were in the area. We're not confident that we've contacted all of them yet, so I don't know that I can comment much more, but we do believe that they were neighbors.
It seems like that was a very volatile situation for them as well, and potentially life-threatening.
Right, correct, yeah.
What does it say to you that people who were just standing by as bystanders were able to convince the shooter to put down his gun?
I think that we've talked a little bit about community and the tight-knit group here. I think those acquaintances and relationships probably played a key role into getting him to put down his weapons and surrender.
Do you know an age range of the suspects?
I don't. Do you know an age range? I'm sorry. I don't know that. I just know an adult male, over 20 at least. So.
It seems like a lot of agencies from around the area are coming together here. Tell us about your relationships between these various agencies.
Yeah, so Box Elder County the entire county is a pretty tight-knit community, and we all share the same dispatch and CAD system. And so when an incident like this occurs, it's all hands on deck and try to support our sister agencies and brother agencies as much as we can.
Do you have any idea how many officers for those agencies as a total responded?
I can't say an exact number, but I'll say that we had even officers, as the press release mentions, from Cache County, Logan City, Weber, Ogden. I would estimate there were probably upwards of 40 to 50 officers here.
Do we know what's going on right now on the scene as far as what's happening here at the investigation?
So we're in the process of processing the scene, which includes obtaining search warrants and diagramming, processing forensics, everything else that goes into a case like this. And we'll probably be here for several more hours.
Is this road closed?
Sorry.
Were you able to say anything about the procession earlier today? You were kind of following up, or are you?
Yeah. So that is customary as I mentioned, these officers are definitely heroes, and we want to afford them that respect. And so that's a tradition that law enforcement has to honor those that pay this type of price. And so a lot of agencies from around the state have assisted us in doing that.
Have the search warrants been obtained to go in the home at this point?
I can't speak to that because I don't know the answer, but I know that they've been applied for, yes.
Do you know if the first officer responded by themselves, or were they with a partner at that point?
The first officer arrived here alone, shortly followed by the second. Any other questions? I appreciate you guys being out here.
Is this road going to be closed for a while?
We're actually going to condense the crime scene down one more block, but that'll be closed for, as I mentioned, several hours today still.
And we were talking a little bit earlier about how many times, an officer involved shootings happen in this area. Is it something that you guys have seen before, or is it the first one that's kind of rocking this area?
I'm not aware of any other officer involved shootings that resulted in this kind of injury to law enforcement that have occurred in Box Elder County recently. I believe this is one of the first, and Detective Beck might be able to speak better to that.
I think that the Box Elder County Sheriff's Office had an officer involved shooting in 2012 or 2013, but the officer was not injured.
Anything else you'd like to add, Chief?
No, I appreciate the community support that Tremonton Garland has received and that law enforcement receives. And I thank you guys for being out here too.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Chief.
Thank you, Chief.
This one's yours.
The one on the top.
Municipality, but in such a small one there where they've just got 20 officers. Everybody knows who they are, even the community members. So our hearts truly go out to the community that is rocked by this, and really the whole state rocked by something like this, as he said, and the whole nation. And he went into the details, some of which we already knew, about them reporting to a domestic dispute there. And so they do have that suspect now in custody. He's already in jail. They have not released to us the name of this person yet.
And in case you missed it, outside of the 2 police officers shot and killed on scene, a 3rd officer, along with his police canine, also shot, both now in fair condition this morning. We were hearing from, you mentioned it, Dan, Chief Chad Reyes. He's the chief of the Brigham City Police Department. Some of his officers did assist in this incident overnight. He did mention Chief Cordova, who is over the Tremonton Garland Police Department, will at some point be making a statement this morning. He said he wasn't quite ready to do so as of yet, but sometime this morning. And once Chief Cordova is ready to face the media, we of course will take that live as well to get the very latest.
Yeah, it's Brigham City that's doing the investigation right now, which is normal standard protocol for another police agency to look into an officer involved shooting whenever they happen. So that's one of the reasons also that they're talking about this, and they're still gathering more information as well, as you can tell. So this happening last night at about 9:15, but details still coming in and being shared between these police departments. We'll continue to follow this throughout the morning. Just devastating news there from the Tremonton area in Box Elder County. We'll be right back.
I think it leaves a big impact when any officer is involved in something like this.
I think this is the closest I've ever got to actually dying.
Welcome back to Good Day Utah, where we're following breaking news from overnight. 2 officers shot and killed in Tremonton, with another one injured.
Our crews have been on the scene overnight, talking to witnesses and police about the chaotic events that unfolded. Good Day Utah anchor John Franke and reporter Tina Giuliano join us live from Tremonton this morning.
Good morning, guys. We just heard from the Brigham City Police Chief, Chad Reyes. He provided us an update on this horrible tragedy that is taking place here in the small town of Tremonton. As he was emotional as he spoke, he said 2 officers lost their lives in the shooting. Another was shot and injured, but thankfully has been released from the hospital. Also, a police canine was shot and taken to a veterinary hospital. That dog, we're told, is in fair condition. Tina, the chief couldn't provide too many details as to the identities of the fallen officers or the suspect as well, but he did give us insight into how this started as a domestic dispute.
Yeah, so essentially, I mean, we felt the emotions all throughout this morning. I was here earlier around 4:20 in the morning, and you can just feel kind of the devastating, the stillness, the heaviness here. And so essentially what had happened was the police responded to a domestic disturbance. There were several calls made from a house in this neighborhood to 911. And so police responded, and then the suspect opened fire, shooting and killing the 2 officers, and then also shooting, injuring the 3rd officer and the canine there. So then as police were dealing with this, they stopped responding to their radios, and then all of the surrounding police officers did come and help. So it was a massive response from police. That suspect is in custody.
And the chief spoke for about 15 minutes. I want to play you some of his remarks.
The male opened fire on the officer, striking and killing the officer. A second officer with Tremonton Garland Police Department responded to assist the first and was immediately fired upon by the same male suspect. The second officer was also struck and killed by the suspect's gunfire. A third officer deputy from the Box Elder County Sheriff's Office had also been dispatched to assist, and as they arrived in the area, the suspect fired several rounds into the deputy's vehicle, striking the deputy and the deputy's police service dog. These officers and their families served their community every day and will forever be remembered as heroes. Our thoughts and prayers are with the Tremonton Garland Police Department, Box Elder County Sheriff's Office, and the family of those involved.
Yeah, it was a pretty emotional scene for the chief talking there. And also, we were talking earlier, and we asked the chief as well. This is one of the first officer-involved shootings here in Tremonton.
Yes, the first officers to lose their lives in the line of duty here in Tremonton. But there are many answers that we're still waiting for, including the names of those officers who sacrificed their life for the community, also the name of the suspect who was involved. We were also told that it was bystanders, neighbors, who convinced this suspect to put their weapon down and surrender to police. Again, the chief could not identify those suspects for us, but again, we expect this caution tape to be taken down momentarily, and we can expect to get a better glimpse of where the shooting took place just up the road here at 705 North 200 East here in Tremonton. But again, this day, starting off with the worst possible news, Dan and Kelly, that 2 officers in this very small town, we're told the department has 21 officers on staff, 2 losing their lives here late last night in an officer-involved shooting, guys.
Yeah, 10% of their officer staff, just like that. Unbelievable. So do you know, there was a shelter in place for much of the night. Have any of the neighbors been out? Have you talked with any of them yet and get their responses?
We're starting to see some of the neighbors come out, so we're going to talk with some more people here. The neighborhood is waking up, but we talked to the chief, who says that they're going to continue to investigate this area. And so this road, while they're going to take this down, they're going to enclose, they're going to make the area that they're investigating just a little bit smaller.
And where that shooting took place, guys, is about a block away from where we're standing right now. And that's where they'll focus their investigation as this morning moves along.
John and Tina, whenever we see tragedies like this, the community wants to pay their respects in some sort of way. Has there been any scene of any sort of memorial? Perhaps it's too soon, or any plans where mourners can go and visit today and pay their respects to those officers and their families?
You know, I just asked one of the detectives if there was a makeshift memorial yet. She said that not that she was aware, but we can tell you that the police department headquarters here in Tremonton is about 3/4 of a mile down the road from us here. Also, we saw city council members and the mayor deliver breakfast, burritos, to some of the officers that worked overnight here. So we can already start to see the community coming together, and we expect that will be the case here. It always happens here in Utah. We take care of our neighbors as best we can, so we expect that a memorial will start to take shape over at the police department.
And John, you saw earlier this morning with a procession of people that were, or a procession of officers that were down the 15 earlier.
Right, the procession, customary for when an officer loses their life in the line of duty, that sign of respect as the bodies are taken to the medical examiner office. We saw that procession, about 30 to 40 police vehicles making their way toward the Salt Lake City area, guys.
All right, thanks for that. And we'll continue to follow this throughout the morning.